welcome back to a whole nother episode of On the Porch. Guys, you already know we are going crazy.
Hey, man.
Hey,
we back here with another episode of On the Porch, man. We're going guest for guest for guest. We're going bigger and better every time.
He's going crazy right now in the real estate industry, guys. I mean, he's a broker. He's done wholesaling.
I'm Nico Sharma, 25-year-old real estate broker, and our brokerage is in 7 states now. We're going to be in 35 by the end of this year.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. And then the investment firm too. So
You got to be an agent to list on your platform?
So if you're an investor, you get access to unlimited listings through our brokerage. It's for volume investors. Whether you're doing a deal or two a month, all the way up to some of our biggest clients are doing 25, 30 deals a month, making $1 million a month. What I didn't realize at that point is being a realtor, you have a new boss every week. When you're an investor, you get to act as that principal, and you can use that license as a tool in your tool belt. The single family realm is like the G League. Multifamily and commercial is like the NBA.
Yeah.
So how do you get to that league? Because you're thinking in terms of, instead of hundreds of thousands, you can start to think in terms of millions or tens of millions. Delegation and building a team. When you first start out doing it by yourself, you're going to make a bunch of money, right? Once you start to close deals.
Yep.
But then you go from, all right, if I stop working, I stop making money, to how do I build a business around this to where I can make it predictable? I can make it something that I understand. If I put X in on the lead side, I'm going to get Y out on the revenue side.
Guys, I know it's been a great episode, but let me put you on game. If you've been in a wreck, let Blessing at Your Accident Your Money get you a check today.
Man, go ahead and hit her up. Do not hesitate to hit up 888-7money8 for all your accident referrals and get $300 every time. I know you can use the extra $300. I can too. So go ahead up. If you know anybody that's been in an accident, your mom, your uncle, your auntie, your daddy cousin, whoever it is, go ahead and hit up. Tell them to follow her at Instagram at Your Accident Your Money right now, and then tell her I sent you. Tell her On the Porch sent you, and she gonna mess with you, and she gonna give you a great deal. Let's get it done. That's just too early, right? We're gonna cut that part out. Hey, welcome back to a whole nother episode of On the Porch. Guys, you already know we are going crazy. We are getting things done, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, go to our other platforms, whatever that is. Whether that is Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. BJ don't like when I say it. OnlyFans. I don't know. You guys don't know what we got going on, but please leave us 5 stars, say something nice, move us up those charts, and make sure that this message is getting out to everybody else that needs to hear it. Guys, BJ.
Hey, man. Hey, we back here with another episode of On the Porch, man. Y'all already know it's your boy _BJ Real. Y'all can go ahead and follow us at all platforms. We're on all platforms, guys, at _On the Porch. But like I said, guys, we're going guest for guest for guest. We're going bigger and better every time. And we have another special guest with us here today,
Another special guest. My guy's been going crazy in the real estate game. I mean, he's only 23, 24?
25.
25.
Yeah.
Shit, still only 25.
Why'd you try to guess his age like that?
I was trying to guess. I figured it out.
He's 19, 2 days and 3 weeks.
19, 17, 70? I don't fucking know. But look, no, he's only 25 years old. All just aside, he's going crazy right now in the real estate industry, guys. I mean, he's a broker. He's done wholesaling. He's done innovation, which he'll explain a lot of stuff he do. I'm gonna let him explain all the things that he do. He has some stuff that most people, if you're in real estate right now, you need to be in his program. So we got my guy Nico. Nico, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know who it is, who you are, and what you do.
First and foremost, appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Both of y'all. Man, no problem. Appreciate you for coming.
Absolutely. So I'm Nico Sharma, 25-year-old real estate broker, and our brokerage is in 7 states now. We're going to be in 35 by the end of this year.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. And then the investment firm too. So the way I have it set up is the investment firm is where we act as the principal, as signing a purchase contract.
I was gonna say, what is the principal? Okay.
Yeah, so where we locking stuff up as the buyer, and then we use our brokerage to sell our inventory. But in the process, Top Brokerage has been able to become a huge disposition resource for other high volume investors through our subscription model, which you look at Spotify, what it did for music, you look at Netflix, what it did for movies. we kind of looked at that and said, okay, how do we do that for real estate? And so we created a subscription model where there's 3 different subscription tiers. Depending on how much volume somebody does, instead of 3% at close, they might only have to pay 0.13% on the listing side at close.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of paying a flat fee and getting shitty service every time,
Yeah.
you might only have to pay, a fixed monthly subscription. And here's the cool thing. They got access to unlimited listings in any of the states we're in.
Hold on, wait. So wait. Hold on, wait. Because you're throwing it at him. You're throwing it at me. No homo. Pause. God damn. Hold on, wait. No, wait. No. So wait. So you're telling me you have a platform where you got to be an agent to list on your platform?
No. So if you're an investor, you get access to unlimited listings through our brokerage. So if you're an agent, it's actually not for agents. It's for volume investors. Whether you're doing a deal or 2 a month, all the way up to some of our biggest clients are doing 25, 30 deals a month, making $1 million a month.
So say somebody, if somebody's a wholesaler, they could come,
flipper,
they come on
developer.
in anything, and wholesaler, flipper, developer, whatever. If you have to sell a property, no matter what it is, they can go to your platform without having an agent, and they can list the property on the MLS.
Yes, as long as if they have it under contract and they don't straight out own it, or if they have equitable interest, they gotta have the right paperwork. But as long as they have the right paperwork, which is, y'all know this.
Yeah, purchase sale agreement.
It's real easy, right?
Yeah.
Because you can give sellers 2 cash offers now, right?
Yep.
Your off-market wholesale or this one where you get it on market.
Yeah.
And so they get the contract in place, they take photos, and we have everything online. So you set up a profile at topbrokerage.org, which will be .com soon. I got the domain in process.
Let's go. He had to pay some money to get that one.
No, and then from there, you upload your photos, you upload your contract or proof of ownership, and then you're in a position where, our admin back-end team, if you want to edit the price or whatever you might want to do on the listing, they're right there for you. And then once you get a contract from a buyer or buyer's agent off of the MLS marketing that you're doing, you now send it to us, all templated and filled out, to docs@topbrokerage.org. And then at that point, we review, initial, and sign. So it's like you got a broker in your back pocket.
That's
For a
crazy.
fraction of what an agent would be.
Wow.
And how did you even notice it was possible? Like, how long were you like a real estate agent, and how long were you like a broker?
Well, the cool thing about it is the only reason, like when I first started the brokerage, my mindset was, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna keep this for me. Like, our investment firm will be so much better because nobody else has this. But from operating from abundance, that's not how you want to. Like, you make money because you focus on solving problems for people.
Right.
And like me as an investor, I've probably only done 4 or 5 deals to off-market buyers. Most of my investment deals have been sold on the MLS. We did 7 figures just last year doing that, right?
That's a different side
Okay,
of
cool.
Yeah, and so instead of just holding that info and trying to keep it just for me, I'm like, nah, fuck it. Let's give it away.
But
Y'all
you're
make
speaking
sense.
of people where we done most of our deals off market.
Yeah.
Whereas you say you done most of your deals like on market, so that's just a different outlook for us.
Well, imagine how much money y'all left on the table too by not setting those expectations. Because you selling it to the person that is trying to make money with that deal, as opposed to selling it to the person that just wants the house.
Wants to go on in.
And it works better for turnkey stuff. But I've sold dog houses on the MLS too, because you got your first time investors that are not on anybody's buyers list.
So yep.
Like I had a deal in Doraville, which is like north. You know where Doraville
North
is.
of Atlanta, basically.
I got crickets when I sent it out to my buyers list. When I put it on MLS, I got a call that night and had it locked up with earnest money deposited that morning by 9 a.m. And it was sold for, it was like a $50K spread. And
So you made $50K off of it.
And keep in mind, I had crickets when I sent it out to my buyers list, so I was thinking I had a bad deal.
What is a buyer's list?
So the buyers list for our off-market guys, you're going to have a VIP list of qualified cash buyers that will buy your inventory. And the best way to put it is you source that inventory from the outlet, which is AKA sellers.
Yep.
And then you are the plug. You are getting it to your clientele.
Right.
And they are your clientele because they're going to take that, do what they need to with it. And then the crazy thing, which is why the MLS strategy and top brokerage is so dope, most of those guys are taking that shit to the MLS.
That's true.
So imagine if you could cut out not one, but 2 middlemen, the agent and the cash buyer.
But yeah.
You go straight to retail, which means that 20K deal could have turned into an 80K deal.
So what is that? What is that whole process called? Is that just a regular
Yeah, 'cause that's what-
deal? Is it novating?
So
What is it?
the only difference, so most people have this misconception that if I get it on the MLS, that means I'm automatically novating. Novating only happens when you have your A to B and you have your end buyer that comes and you replace your A to B and make it an A to C with you as the B party going on the seller side of the HUD as a payoff. Because if you're on the seller side of the HUD as a payoff,
Go, keep going.
yeah, so assignments are on the buyer side, right?
Mhm, yep.
Novations are a payoff on the seller side, so no lender can say anything about that.
Okay.
So FHA buyer that has a seasoning period, you can't double close to them. That's actually why seasoning periods are there, to prevent against those quick flips like that, because there's so little amount that they have to put in. The bank has most of their money in the deal for a FHA buyer, right?
Right.
And so they want to prevent against the quick flip aspect of things. But since you're able to novate, no lender can say anything to you about it, regardless of what your spread is, because you're not on their client side of the HUD.
Oh my goodness. So you're not. So you're saying you're on with novation. You're on the seller side of the HUD.
And there's only one HUD. So there's two things, back to your question too. The only thing that changes y'all with this is, hey, Mr. Seller, I have a corporate internal marketing process. I'm going to need access to the property. And there's a chance I bring on a retail finance partner to get this deal done.
Right.
Because that allows you to get it on market, get the people you need into the house. And then at that point, you decide, based on the offers you get, am I double closing this or am I novating this? Right? Because the only time, remember, you only need to novate when you have the seasoning period.
And that season period with the, I guess that's only with pretty much with the FHA.
Yeah, conventional.
Because they usually,
you can double close.
Yeah, because FHA, I guess, from what my understanding is, that, like, you, even when we flip a house, when you flip a house, they like FHA, it has to be, you had to own, the seller has to, whoever's selling the house had to own the house for at least like 60 days. 90 some days. Yeah.
91 days before you can even sign a contract with that FHA person.
And what's the seasoning period for people that don't know?
So the seasoning period basically is if that property was bought on, let's just say, November 1st, right? You're going to have to wait, if you're FHA buyer, you're going to have to wait 91 days before you can even think about putting that property under contract to buy.
Okay,
Regardless of closing, it's putting it under contract to buy. And I'm not sure if USDA has a seasoning period, but to my knowledge, it's like just FHA, and then I'll confirm USDA. But VA and conventional don't, so you could still double close to them. But here's the cool thing too. When I novate, right, when I double close, if it's to a conventional or VA buyer, what am I going to need to double close? Because they don't allow for pass-through funding. Transactional
funding. Yeah, and you just hit up a transactional funder.
Yeah, but here's the cool thing, right? Transactional funding, 1% of a $900,000 deal could be 9 racks, right?
Yeah.
But if you novate, you're in a position where you don't even need to go get transactional funding.
Because it's all coming from FHA.
Well,
or whoever that is.
Even if it's a conventional buyer at that point, you're not double closing on it. So
you
didn't close your A to B side.
So you didn't close. It's only one closing cost.
There's only one set of
and
closing.
you're not paying it.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, it's coming from your fee, but you're not.
You're not technically seeing that anyway.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, what type of sellers do you usually like run into that let you like novate their property?
Well, so all sellers are open to this if you approach them the right way, right? And I don't want to say all sellers because some will be in a situation that requires them to just get on with it. But now y'all are in a position as investors, right? So for us on the top buyer side, we can offer people 2 cash offers. Our first cash offer is what we call our no access cash offer, right? It can close in 7, 14, 21 days. That's your traditional, hey, I'm going to off market wholesale this to a traditional cash buyer, or I'm going to take this down with private money and then list it back on the market, right? Mm-hmm. Those are kind of the exits from there. And if you take it down with your own money, you could flip it if you wanted regardless, right?
Right.
And so every seller you talk to now, you now have a negotiation tool to be able to present them 2 cash offers. One with your process and one without your process. And if they ask, well, hey, why is this one so much lower than this one? Well, hey, to be fully transparent, there's 2 reasons. One, we might bring on a retail finance partner. But the second part is if you're allowing us to run our process, we're in a position where we might already have a buyer locked in that wants X, Y, and Z instead of a full 80K flip.
Right.
So now for us, we had to do less work to the property. And instead of having to hold that thing for 3 months, we might only have to hold it for 3 weeks. And so because you allowed us to run our corporate internal marketing process, provided for access, and did what we needed to do, we're the type of organization that's going to put that bread back into your pocket, which is why you see the difference in the cash prices for no access versus with our process.
So, okay, I see that. I see what's going on. So when you're giving these individuals, that's obviously just a plus, right? People are able to say, you know what, you give me 2 cash offers instead of 1. Like most of the market is doing. Most of the market of people that's just traditional like wholesaling, or people that's just traditionally buying property, they don't have that option to say, I give you 2. This is my offer and that's it.
Yeah.
But now you got a place where it's like, look, you can take this offer or this offer, and whatever that is, hey, it's up to you, whatever one you want to take. But it basically gives you more options.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it's about how you roll it up too, right? I've seen people that just straight up present the 2 offers and let them decide what works best on their situation. Some of our investors will hit them with the no access, and if they're okay with the no access number, they'll still try to set expectations as to the process. But if they're not okay with that, then they'll just anchor them even more, because from a psychology standpoint, you now have something to negotiate on.
Right.
And if they're not okay with that no access number, the cool thing about this is when you get it on the MLS, most of your buyers are not going to be looking for a cash on cash return.
They're not, yeah.
They just want a crib to live in.
Yeah.
What does that mean? They're going to pay higher prices because they don't need to acquire it at a price that allows them to make money. And think about all the sellers y'all talk to, right? 99% of sellers are not okay with our wholesale offer price.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, right? And it's our job as when we do traditional off-market wholesaling to find that 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
But now you're in a position where you open up the market of people you can do business with, because for most people it does come down to price.
It does.
But a lot of people just don't stick. I guess people that don't want to do this process though, because it takes longer, and maybe it's a little bit more confusing, maybe a little bit more paperwork. So I mean, how does that work with the paperwork standpoint of it? Like, is it harder for me to go ahead and get started? Like, who is this for?
Yeah, so from a paperwork standpoint, here's the cool thing, right? All you need for Georgia, for example, and I'll break this down too, but Georgia FMLS and Georgia MLS allow for equitable interest listings. So you just got to make sure you set the right expectations with your seller for the 3 things: access, corporate internal marketing process, and a longer timeline. And then from that point, make sure in writing in your agreement, you have 2 clauses: a possession clause that includes the novation aspect, and a marketing clause that includes your right to market.
What does that say? What does that say?
All parties agree that buyer has the right to market in any capacity, including the multiple listing services.
Okay.
And then in parenthesis, MLS. There's some form of along that. And then another line speaking to seller understands buyer has the right unilaterally to novate this agreement, and if that occurs, seller agrees to cooperate.
Okay.
So you have to have both the marketing and novation clause in there?
Marketing and novation clause in there, because if you don't, right, if you don't have the possession clause, if you get an FHA buyer, you don't have the possession aspect in there. And they're not even the possession aspect. You don't have the novation aspect in there, that clause. And so they could buck on it as opposed to, hey, this is in the agreement, you need to comply. And to your point, too, about who is this for, this is for any investor, whether they're doing 1 to 2 deals a month or whether they're doing 10 to 20 deals a month. Because you can take what would be a variable cost with shitty service or an expensive cost at close from your bottom line and turn it into cost-effective means to distribution with speed and communication and having a broker in your back pocket.
I got you. So at Top Brokerage. So first of all, how did you even get started in this? First of all, 'cause I wasn't going to Top Brokerage, Top Buyers, but where did this originally start at? Like, what happened for you to even say, you know what, let me get into real estate? Like, what was your journey to even get into real estate? 'Cause I know when you first started, you wasn't like, Top Brokerage. That's not what the fuck happened. I'm pretty sure you went through a process that made you say, okay, like a light bulb came on. What happened?
The idea is evolving, and it's still evolving to this day, trying to make it continuously better. But I was raised by a single mom, and so when I was like 16, 15, we moved from the spot that we were at to this townhouse. And in the process of moving to the townhouse, we had a realtor. I saw the check she made from listing our house. I saw the check that she made for helping us find a crib too. And I said to myself, I can do this. But what you don't realize what I didn't realize at that point is being a realtor, you have a new boss every week. When you're an investor, you get to act as that principal, and you can use that license as a tool in your tool belt.
I know the episode is fire. I get it. But we have to make sure that you get your taxes in this tax season. So why not get them done by the best in the game, KDP Tax Services? I mean, they're going crazy right now. $7,000 cash advances starting January 2nd. Guess what? That's upon approval though. But also, they're in all 50 states and it's virtual, so you ain't got to worry about leaving the comfort of your home. They also going crazy with the referrals. So you want to make a little cash? I know you do. I like to. So go ahead, hit them up, get the referrals as well. And also, they do tax preparation, especially for the self-employed. Guys, I know you hate doing bookkeeping. I know you hate doing all that stuff. So to keep all that stuff and get your taxes prepped, go ahead and hit up KDP Tax Services right now. They're going crazy. BJ, I mean, what you got to say about them?
Guys, don't delay. Get your taxes done today. And why not from the best tax specialist in America, guys?
The best in the game.
Y'all can follow her on Instagram and Facebook at KDP_tax services. She even has a website, guys, that you guys could go to. It's kdptaxservices.com. And her phone number, hit her up, guys. Her phone number is 910-704-3253. Don't delay. Get your taxes done today.
Let's do it. Did you have a bad experience that made you say you didn't want to have a boss every week or what?
For me, I think
And
part
you want
of
some of these?
Yeah, listen, you already know.
I was like, hold on, bro. We got before you. I know you're just talking and stuff. I'm like, let me get some, man. Get you right. All right, go ahead.
So you know this, right? So when I first got started on the retail side, it's literally just, it feels like you running around. Oh, do you like it? Oh, do you not like it? Oh, is this cool? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. No, it's not. All right, let me show you something else. When you're on the investment side, you get into running comps, ARV, understanding the market, understanding what a good deal is. And so, you know, even the words, right? Realtor, you have a specific duty you perform.
Yep.
Investor, your job is to just make some fucking money.
That's true. Yeah, that's it. And you know, it's crazy being at. And that's why a lot of people. You brought a good point. Like you said, when you going from being an agent into being an investor, you run an ARV, you learn the market. I just feel like it's crazy because obviously as somebody that wholesales and an investor standpoint, agents don't know what the hell they be talking about. No disrespect to my agents that are watching.
No. Let me, to the agents, the ones that just came out of Onyx and fucking the hookah bars around here, get educated because some of y'all are doing a bad job. Some of y'all are doing great. It's not an all agent thing.
Yeah.
But even in Atlanta, like, you talk to some of these agents, a lot of them make less than somebody working at McDonald's.
Yeah, because like you said, it's deal by deal, obviously. And then they don't have any type of process to continuously get those deals. So they just thinking, I just get referrals. But that's
But you know, it's like wholesalers, we get our head cut off for like comping bad deals. But it's like you see every agent listing is like 20, 30, 40,000
overpriced.
Above, like market value. And we're like,
and
this was a wholesaler that did that. Y'all would have been cut us out the game.
And it sits on the market for 100 days.
It sits on the market for 100 days, probably $40,000 over like market value, and it's like
the maximum.
That's like an okay thing for agents to do.
Well, and I because I've seen good agents and I've seen bad agents, right? There's some agents that will just try to get the business and then lower the price until it sells over time. Yep. The good agents, the good brokers on the retail side, because there are some really, really amazing ones that provide a ton of value. They, from the conversations I've had, they won't take a listing if a seller wants a ridiculous number. They will walk away from that listing. Yeah. Because they understand if the seller's number is unrealistic, then I'm going to be spinning my wheels to get this on market just for the shit to sit there. Yeah. As opposed to, I'm going to take the listing because I have confidence that this is going to be able to sell at X price on the retail market. Right.
Okay. We had agents that did that to us before. Like in our flip, we were like, okay, we just want $275. And they're like, no, we're going to get $315 for this.
And we're like, bro.
Okay, that sounds good. So go ahead. You're the agent. Yeah. End up selling it for like $270, $265. It's like
the ones that try to sell you on a dream. That's part. Just like there's bad wholesalers, there's bad agents, right? Yeah. And like some of them will try to sell you on something just so you sign on the dotted line.
But it's like every time you'll see like a house that's listed, it's like at least 20 over market, and it's like it's an okay thing.
And you know what? I guess that's normal because just like when we send the properties out to our buyers, we're gonna send out for a little higher. because we understand that you're gonna try to talk us down anyways. But they be just ridiculous, and it's just something that's outrageous. And how are you dealing with people that's like that, or dealing with agents? Do you even do property that's on the market at all, or
In terms of on market outreach to people on market, like in terms of stuff that's already listed, we've done a couple, but it's not really our focus. The main focus is direct to seller.
How are you finding your direct to seller leads? Like, what are you doing?
Texting, calling, network referrals, JV deals. We're about to start some Facebook and Google ad stuff too, just because we've done a lot of prospecting channels. And the next step in marketing is branding that leads to then inbound leads that you can then convert. Speed to lead is still super important with that process.
Yeah.
Because these same people that are calling you probably calling 3 other investors in the area or filling out 3 other funnels. How are you getting on top of them first, building rapport and connecting with them? And one of the things I like to do whenever I talk to sellers, I tell them, we got 4 options for you. And it's really 5, but we only really broadcast the 4 unless somebody's a high volume investor. And it's, I can buy this cash and close in 10, 14 days. We can run our offer with our process. It's going to take anywhere from 30, 45, 60 days. Still cash to you, no closing cost commissions, none of that extra stuff. We can go creative, which is, Pace Morby's like the king of creative. We know that. You know what I mean?
Go crazy.
And then with me owning a brokerage, we could list it traditionally if you really wanted to. And then option number 5, if they have a ridiculous crackhead number, that cost per lead, say it's $70. We tell them, hey, you can just go list with our flat fee service, because our subscription model does have a flat fee component for somebody that might just be a one-off seller. So that same lead that would have been a negative $70 unconverted cost per lead loss now turns into a, we might make, 70 times 7x return on it. Damn. Even though it's on a more minute scale.
That's true, yeah. And it's just something that, you're able to get money off of it either way, because you just make this way that I'm not letting any money go off the table pretty much, right? You're just like, whatever I can get out of this, I need to get it out of it.
Yeah, and it's more like, hey, what works best for you?
For you,
on
for
your
you,
situation. All right, that's kind of I never wanted to be the high-pressure salesperson. I wanted to be the person that put in the work and resources to be able to give somebody options as to what route worked best for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so usually obviously you've been doing this, so what's your main way of, obviously you got the top brokerage or whatever, so when you guys are sourcing your own deals and your own deals are coming in, like what is something, what's like, how I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question. So I was gonna just say, like, are you guys making a lot of money off of doing your own deals, or having a lot of people coming onto your platform?
Both, right? So it's a mix, right? So the brokerage, because people are in charge of getting their own, photos and a lot of the stuff, I have an admin team that runs all the stuff that an unlicensed person can do.
Okay, cool.
And so that allows me to still focus on being an investor first and foremost that owns a brokerage.
Okay.
And so, with that being said, the brokerage has a crazy good scalable potential, and that will scale.
Right.
But the investment firm, that's where we're going to, because even now we're really mainly focused on single family stuff, but getting into multifamily, getting into commercial, that's the next progression. Because one thing I've seen is, and no disrespect for the people that are niched and focused on single family, I've seen people get really wealthy off that. But from what I've seen, the single family realm is like the G League. Multifamily and commercial is like the NBA.
Yeah.
So how do you get to that league? Because you're thinking in terms of, instead of hundreds of thousands, you can start to think in terms of millions or tens of millions.
Yeah.
So the spreads are bigger too.
Yeah, and as top brokers, that's your primarily is that your main source of income?
So it's buyers and brokerage.
Okay, I got you. So obviously because you're basically doing brokerage is how you sell your properties.
Yeah.
And you built it to solve your own problem pretty much. Yeah. It was like, and I'm like, I'm opening it up to other people but it was really built for you. And that's how most great platforms are built. It's like, I built it to solve my problem, really. Yeah. But it was like you said, you just didn't want to be selfish. You was like, the way you really get wealthy and have an abundance mindset, let me let this open for everybody.
Exactly. And that's to tie back to your question too about how I got started. Yeah, I was, top brokerage was just supposed to be for top buyers, but from operating from an abundance standpoint, we're like, let's give this to people in a way where, because we only make money in 2 places on the brokerage side. Our monthly subscription and the small, minute percentage of commission to us on the listing side. On the back end, You guys pay whatever you want to buyer's agents, but those are the only two places that we making money. Outside of that, we operate at cost.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So with top buyers, like what's that? What is that company looking like? So what exactly is that? Do you guys just do novation, or do you guys just handle like basically? Are you guys buying the properties yourselves, or what are you guys doing to top buy? Obviously,
we can be asset agnostic with that. It's kind of like a private equity firm in a sense, but right now we're just focused on real estate. 'Cause as we grow too, even with the leadership group I have, like I got amazing leaders around me. And so, our focus right now is real estate as that investment asset. But top buyers is where we can be creatively, if it makes money, we can run the play.
Okay.
And so it's focused on real estate right now, but I see the progression of top buyers getting into private equity, even relationships with guys like Abraham Gray I have. He owns like 45 businesses.
Oh, damn. Okay, cool.
Because real estate will make you some great money. Any of these industries, if you focus on it, roofing, real estate, whatever it might be, if you focus, it'll make you great money. Private equity is a mix of that too, because private equity can make you some fuck you money.
Yeah, because you invested in a company that started up. So top buyer, how long has top buyers been in play though? And just the real estate, I guess. Just the
May 2019, but it honestly was probably around like a little bit before that too. But in terms of the LLC created, it was May of 2019. And don't get me wrong, y'all. Like I dropped out of college twice. So part of
back. I dropped out once.
Yes. When I went, so I got Indian. Like I said, I was raised by a single mom. My grandparents were big in my life, so I dropped out the first time, and wasn't making the most of my time management stuff. This is already when I was licensed too, just not thinking as an investor. So I went back to school, and I focused on, when I was back in school, I had this vision for some music shit. Fast forward 8 months later from August, I had the song, the video, everything done, but outsourced everything except for the stuff I was naturally God gifted at, which is shit spitting and then the vision.
My boy said he a rapper. Okay.
Yeah, listen, it's coming. I'll show y'all after the podcast.
We'll see. We gonna tap in. We gonna get tapped in. That's good.
So once I did that, I saw that, okay, I have visions in my head that I know I can, through collaboration and teamwork, can bring to fruition. So I dropped out of college a second time. Grandparents were like, beta, doctor, lawyer, or something. Like, gas station for all we give a fuck. I was like, nah, fuck that shit.
Facts.
I got this. I know I'm going to figure it out. And this was before I had kids. This was before all that stuff.
Yeah.
Met Shay, who's a business partner, and mother of my children. And
wow.
It still took us 9 months to close our first deal.
Wow.
Still took us.
And that was on it, not as an agent, but as like
an investor.
Okay, cool.
Y'all were having a kid on that deal.
Listen, but here's the cool thing too, right? If you stay, and y'all seen this, right? Because I've seen the people that hit 100K deal their first month, and then they're not in the industry a year from then.
Tell me about it.
So they're like, it's consistency, right? Being able, it's like what Alex Hormozy says. Being able to play the game, there's a gift in that. Now, I want to play at the highest level because I'm competitive as fuck, right? And anybody I see doing something at a level I aspire to, I understand they're a person just like me. So it's not that I can't, but it's more so how every single time, right? How and what did they do to do that? And so being driven by that, like, I'm not going to fucking stop. I'm either going to make this plan A happen or I'm going to die first. After I dropped out of college for the second time is what allowed me to carry through those times where, because y'all know this, and I'm glad we brought this up. As I've been an entrepreneur longer and longer, I see why this shit isn't for everybody.
Let me tell you. Shit not for everybody.
Shit ain't bro.
It'll be some scary months.
Bro. And like my mom, like she kept us in a good area and provided a great upbringing for me as a single mom because she had a job.
Right.
And us as entrepreneurs, we ain't gonna have businesses to run without those types of minded people.
That's true.
And so just understanding that, to your point too about when I took that leap, it went from hiring people on that team. My buddy passed away, my brother passed away. We let go of everybody, and then we started building one block at a time. And the whole goal is never to be a high-paid, self-employed person. The whole goal is to be free. Free, right? And that freedom is, of course, there's always going to be work that comes with that. But in business, you can outsource the stuff you're not good at. In life, you don't want to do that. If I'm fat, I'm finna get in the gym and get in shape. I'm not gonna outsource that. I might get a trainer to help with accountability. But in business, like, I'm blessed to be able to even sit in that visionary seat in my business. And then I'm naturally like a closer, so I'll still hop on calls whenever I'm needed and help close shit. But I have a marketing head, I have a sales director, I have an operations director and well, the cool thing is those people are the same people for the investment firm and the brokerage. Those department heads, because of how they're connected as a conglomerate. And then I got my integrator that does all the integration stuff for those businesses as well too. So, you know, delegation and building a team. When you first start out doing it by yourself, you're going to make a bunch of money, right? Once you start to close deals. But then you go from, all right, if I stop working, I stop making money, to how do I build a business around this to where I can make it predictable? I can make it something that I understand. If I put X in on the lead side, I'm going to get Y out on the revenue side. And that's what's really been exciting for me. Building a business like that brokerage one day, maybe sell that shit for 500 million, sell it for $1 billion, whatever it might be, right? It's more of the lifestyle that I'm after than I am the exact dollar amount. Because Bob Marley said this shit. There's no happiness in numbers. They just keep going. But I want to make a fuck ton of money. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to do it while keeping God first and living a life that I enjoy.
Now, are you like delegating all the stuff that you're like not good at, or you just understand that it's a business and I need to put people in place? Like, if I'm not good at it, someone needs to be doing it.
Both, right? So the stuff that I'm naturally not good at, I'll bring somebody in, and stuff that, you know, I need to understand and then delegate. That's where it's like, all right, I've done this so many times to where I know X, Y, and Z needs to get done. And, you know, part of where I'm at too is because I got a really good team. Like us being right here right now, I'm not worried of what's going on in the business because I know shit, it's going to be able to get handled. I've got the right partners and employees and shit to just keep it growing. And the second part, for you to drop out of college twice, you have to be making
some good money.
So with like top brokers and top buyers, like what would you say?
I'll say top buyers.
Brokerage wasn't even there at that point. Brokerage got started probably a year after I dropped out of college. And it's funny, when I dropped out of college, y'all, shit, I was surviving off trap funds. Just to keep it a bean, like I stepped out on faith. I had this vision in my head that I knew I could bring to fruition.
And I stepped out on a 3.5.
You wait.
Big 3.5.
So you
not pulling up unless it's a 3.5 or better. Right, when I'm not pulling up for no gram.
We gonna get into that.
He's not pulling up for no 3.5.
This is what I want to say though. Hold on. Wait. First of all, so with top buyers, like, what was that? Obviously, you've been doing it for a while. What was like what did that look like? What you guys bringing in monthly for top buyers?
So last year, like I said, we did over that $1 million in terms of revenue. So I guess that comes out to like right at around like 90K, which there's levels to this shit. That's great. Don't get me wrong, but there's levels to this shit. And then fully transparent, right? First 2 quarters of this year on the investment firm side, I took my best salesperson and moved him to Dispo. And so we on track to do right under $1 million this year. So not the numbers we hit last year. And part of that too is because like we was talking about, right? I had a freight brokerage that I was owning.
Doing a lot, and
I shut that down. I wasn't the operations person, but it takes up headspace, right? And then I had a jewelry business, and those are still my boys. But from a headspace standpoint, making money, right? If you focus on making that 1 or 2 things huge, which for me it's 2 things technically, but 1 thing.
It always goes together.
Because it connects, right? If I can focus on getting that to a level where it's 500 million, 200 million, 300 million, whatever it is at least, right? Then I'm in a position where I have capital to leverage as opposed to spending my time every which way. Once you have that exit and the experience of being able to exit, you can take that to other businesses. And so even like I use Hermosi as an example. He focused on his gym business till he sold that shit for $100 million. And now he buys and sells businesses with the team that he has too. And so, the fallacy of you need 7 streams of income. Yeah, but if you have 7 buckets that are doing nothing or not as much as they could, as opposed to focusing on that 1 bucket that can then explode, because hypothetically, right, whether it's roofing or a brokerage or an investment firm or solar, all these things have huge earning potential. But if you're trying to do all of them at once, how are you going to compete with the person in your industry that's just focused on that one thing?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Okay, so I guess so. Right now, you're looking at a product under $1 million. So what does that look like? Like, what was your? I guess what was your? Like, I'll just say this. Like, what was your biggest month ever? Like with Top Burgers, what was that?
With top buyers,
Top buyers. My bad, not brokerage.
You know, you get $250,000 month and then $100,000 day, and it's smooth.
That's smooth. Goddamn. Okay, cool. That's cool.
Levels to this shit.
So how do you go from being somebody that was trapping, basically? First of all, like what? How do you even get to that? Like, I thought so
I got a good background story.
So
on the
for sure,
trap
because
shit.
you said you know your parent, you know, your mom, you know, she provided a solid life for you all and everything like that. So how did you even get to somewhere where you in the headspace of trapping? Because we always think people that start trapping are something that's somebody that they went through a real bad struggle or they went through a pain that came up. But it seemed like you came up pretty okay.
So we was like lower middle class, right? I was around people that had it.
That's the worst middle class.
Well, and it's
no cap. That's worse than being poor.
We're middle class.
Me too, bro. Because you gotta understand. That's the. But hey, no, listen. Give me some of that because you gotta understand. That's
we
the
around the niggas with money.
We all right there with us. And when you
Mom,
just
can I get $20? No, you can't get fucking $20. We don't got 20. Like my mom, to keep us in the house that we was at, was selling our family jewelry. And it was the same house I was in since we was like
And
5
our
or
first
6.
day in school fit, we used to have to mix and match it.
You gotta understand. And people don't understand that being that lower middle class is not. I'm not going to talk about being poor or whatever, but that shit damn near worse than being poor because you got to understand when you're poor, you hanging out with a lot of poor people. You just with everybody, all y'all around there poor.
You making bills just to pay bills. You making
But when you middle class, it's like there's two different levels to middle class. Now you middle class where you know you basically damn near poor, but you got friends that's like they real upper middle class, like they really living for real, right? So it show more. So now we're all in the same space, but obviously it's very visible that I have less than you, even though we're in the same place, same school, same everything. That's the worst. So how did you end up? So y'all was lower middle class.
Yeah. So you know it actually didn't even start from. It was cool because it's my first lessons into business, right? And the only reason I was pushing tree. And the only reason I did that is because my sister has Crohn's disease. And when she was 12, 13, she got diagnosed. And I grew up hooping and playing football. She grew up hooping. So she's 5'8", 5'9", and was like 130, 125, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And went from that to, by the time she was 15, she was like 80 pounds, had a PICC line in her chest, had a PICC line in her arm. And for the people that don't know what a PICC line is, it is something that is attached to you and hangs from you wherever you go. So whenever the nurses and doctors came to our crib, they would be able to infuse the nutrients into her. Because Crohn's literally made her go from this happy girl that was hooping and loving life and was a little pudgy, right, to crazy skinny, depressed, anxious, suicidal. And I'm sitting here watching my sister take the doctor-recommended medications, and it's doing nothing for her. And so I did my own research, and I saw marijuana can help. I saw weed could help, right? And so I was like, fuck it. Because it was like 2 weeks before she scheduled removal of a piece of her large intestine. And was going to have a colonoscopy, like poop bag on her for like 2 or 3 years. When you in high school, that's your childhood right there.
Yeah.
And so I started getting weed for her. And at first I ran myself broke. And so I realized I had to subsidize the pack. So I would get enough in to be able to give her as much as she needed for free for her medicine and then subsidize the rest. And so I'd be able to refill, replenish, and do what I need so she always got her supply of what she needed. And so that actually was where that started. And I'm blessed for nothing coming from that because I've lost brothers to that shit. Even Dante I was telling you about was kind of with that. Lost my brother Yemi in 2021 to something similar with that.
Hey.
And so it got to a certain point where I was comfortable from that. But am I going to run up $100 million and not be dead or in jail with this?
No.
That's where the pivot came in.
And were you scared doing this? Because I remember in college, like, we were, like, just joking around. And then, like, we had someone that sold weed. And, he just went to me and my friend. He was like, just sell this for us, like, while we were in college. And I was, like, just paranoid. Like, I was just scared. So, like, I can't even, like, imagine just, like, selling, like, just weed.
Well, what's crazy, too, I was getting my shit online. from like
What?
the web.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I was getting it at crazy prices, and you know that's always in the back of your mind: is my shit gonna get kicked in? Somebody gonna try to rob me? And there were a couple instances where, blessed because I was able to mitigate that because of how I ran shit. But you definitely like that's a real risk, and I'm blessed nothing happened, but that's real.
You know,
they pets took in college.
now you know what's crazy though. Just don't understand, bro. And it's just something I really just never understood as people that sell weed, right? And you know, no knock on you, whatever, right? Y'all people, all right, is selling fucking weed, right? And first of all, I said if I'm gonna sell the drug, I'm gonna sell the fucking drug. I'm gonna sell some motherfucking crack cocaine.
What kind of clients you want?
Because I want
What kind of clients
that
you
shit-
want?
that shit
Return,
make-
bro.
I want to make a good return, bro. I'm selling weed, bro. All right, bro. I'm selling weed. All right, boom. I'm gonna sell a 3.5 for 40.
You want to hear something crazy though?
What?
So I would get shake in for $600 a pound, and I would flip it for like if I sell it by the zip, 16 times around 130, 120, it end up coming to around 2,500. But the crazy thing is and my sister would cook edibles for me, so she knew, right? Because like she was getting the pack for free, so she would put it into edibles.
Oh my God, are we teaching people how to sell? I wasn't trying to get into this. I wasn't.
Teaching us the goddamn monopoly.
Hey, 28 grams turns into 60 brownies. Even at 5 brownies a pop, you had $300 on that same zip that you would have made 130 off of
But
selling as
this
a
the
zip.
thing though. Most people aren't doing it like that. The people I know from where I'm from, they are not doing that shit. They are fucking buying. They buying a pack.
Smoking 20%.
They smoking the shit. They gonna go sell the shit. Then they most time when they sell it, they bought a pack. They may bought it and then they sell it. They sell them 3.5 for $40. Nah, I just drove over here to make a $20 profit. I made maybe a $20 profit, but then I fucking got gas. I put gas in my goddamn car. The gas is
$20 worth
gone.
of gas.
Now guess what? Now I didn't make now I didn't make no money. Then guess what? I'm also risking my life as I'm doing this. This makes absolutely no sense. It's not enough money, and that's just how I look at it. I'm just like, bro, it cannot make any sense. You telling me somebody gonna go sell weed and risk their life just so they could make maybe $5 in profit?
Well, and that's
10.
and that's the crazy thing, right?
Because nobody ain't know. A lot of people ain't drug lords. Come on, bro.
No, you're right. And I'm blessed to where I was able to think different in that capacity. But it's the cool thing is like because you know my why of why I was doing it, right?
Yeah, for sure, and that's a good. You had a reason.
Well, yeah, but even to couple that point, the reason still comes with risk.
Risk,
'Cause
yep.
12 don't give a fuck about that.
They don't. You can't
They
tell
don't
them that.
They be like, damn.
Damn, bro.
I'll see you
I'm
on your
so
court date.
sorry. Yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, being able to take that risk allowed me to step into business with understanding I've already taken the biggest risk. The risk of my time and my life and my freedom aspect of things. So it opens you up. Like, some of the best entrepreneurs started as trappers. Some of the trappers watching this shit, y'all gonna be some dope-ass entrepreneurs. Just focus. Because when I was trying to do real estate and that, real estate wasn't taking off. But when you focus your efforts and energy on something, that's when, in my opinion, you see results and fruition. And then at that point, it turns from focus to leverage. How do you build people to where instead of having 24 hours or 12 hours in a day, I now got 120 hours in a day because of this person, and this person on my team.
Mm-hmm. So
And,
go ahead.
Like, I'm getting a little.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
It's for me. Yeah, so we saw you put up in a Tesla. So about how much a month is that Tesla? Or like, how did you go about it?
So it's cool, right? I'll give y'all the backstory on this too, right? So I had a Jeep and a BMW. Got the Beamer for wifey, and Jeep was my car. So the Jeep, between the note, and I'll give y'all the long story short on this, between the note, insurance, interest, gas, and maintenance, the Jeep and the BMW was running me about $2,500 to $2,700 a month because that Jeep will eat gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ended up getting the 2 Teslas, so now I don't have to worry about gas. Tesla is more affordable from a maintenance standpoint than Lexus is, which just goes to say something, right?
Right.
And so now I have a Model X and I have a Model S. Wifey
shit.
has the Model X as like the car to drive the kids around in.
Hold on.
Yeah,
The Falcon
the
door?
Falcon. Yeah, the Falcon door
The
one.
bitch open like that.
Yeah, shit. Listen, I don't.
one?
Yeah,
Not that
No,
one.
not that one. That's the S. That's my race car. But that shit crazy. Like I don't like even 20 years from now, them shit's opening like this is still gonna be fucking fun
That
to
shit
watch.
hard, yeah.
Yeah. So it's what's cool. We saving like $300-400 a month now, because between electricity, insurance, the principals, and everything, it's about $2,200, $2,300.
So wait, how much the motherfucking car note is?
For that, it's like a rack. For the Model X, it's like $950.
Yeah, that's about what we use.
That's how you convince yourself it's a good payment. Be like, we're saving money.
And that ain't gonna count. No. That's how we finish out, bro. I mean, I understand, but we not paying gas.
And like in an oil change every 3 months.
Hey, and what's cool too, like once them bitches is paid off, it'll be like $600 a month for both the cars.
Yeah, for everything. That he talking about maintenance and everything. Guys. That's what he
Maintenance,
mean.
electricity, all that shit. Only thing I'm gonna have to do is tires and brakes.
So they don't need oil changes, bro.
But what's fucked though is my title and tags. It's like $240 instead of $20.
Damn.
Okay.
So that's just something. That's at the end. That's like in the beginning of the year, end of the year type shit. So
Insurance around the same,
if
or
first,
a little more.
I just want.
It's not bad. My insurance on both of them it's like $250 a vehicle, which for
What? Get the fuck out. You know how much my motherfucking insurance is? $340.49. My shit $359. That shit hit my account every month, and I'd be like, what the fuck?
Let them get this out.
$359, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Insurance got to be the most motherfucking scam. We
Oh,
not
it
gonna
is.
fix it.
No. We can get into this real quick because think about this. Insurance, you pay for something that you hope you don't have to use.
Like what the fuck?
That's a trap right there. That's free cash flow.
And
then they don't want to pay out nothing, so they really trying to fuck you when something actually does happen, so you don't have to pay them nothing.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's probably the best business ever, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of people look at some business and people like, so you got to be able to separate morals from business sometime. And this is why I say that, because a lot of these businesses that y'all think fucked up businesses, they're great businesses. They're just like right. They're not right morally. It's a difference. Just because it's not good morally doesn't mean it's not a good business. That is a great business model. You forcing me to pay this shit, and it's the choice for me to pay it. What happens if I don't want to pay this shit? Okay, I crashed my car. Y'all don't help me.
But do
What
y'all
the
know
fuck
it's
happened?
against the law not to pay insurance?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
They force you to
It's
have it.
against the law. So y'all don't think the government's taking some of that?
Oh yeah, no, they listen.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's against the law.
And
they
it's-
wrote that one in there early. Like,
What's crazy too is that's a Georgia thing. In Tennessee, so wifey was pregnant with our second kid, got into a car accident over there, and it wasn't like a bad accident or nothing crazy. Tennessee people don't have to have insurance.
oh,
Man, I need to get the fuck out.
I didn't know that was a Georgia thing. I'll ride around dirty.
I'm getting the fuck out. I crashed. I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for this shit myself.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, y'all trying to make a deal or no?
We out, bro. We out. All right, so I got you. So I mean, I don't even know how we just got into the. I know how we got into the car thing. We just had to. Because you got a Tesla, bro. You got a nice car, bro. We trying to figure out what we got to do to be able to get there, right? Exactly. And I would like to get an electric car too, bro. Like, I ain't gonna cap my Stinger. Lord forbid something happens to my Stinger, but if it was to happen, let me tell you something. Take that bitch.
Well, hey, and look, Elon fucked me because he dropped the prices on the Teslas after, not on the X, but on the S. So he dropped the prices after I'd already bought the S. So I'm kind of negative equity right now.
Like
on
how
my
much
S.
he dropped them?
Like he dropped the prices like I want to say in total with the two drops it's like 30 grand, 35 grand on what they were, and so yeah, so like
Damn.
I'm like 10 grand of negative equity, but I plan on holding on to the car.
That's cool. Yeah, that's how I am. I ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Well, but
how
to
much
your point-
negative equity I am.
Hey, but I be letting my friends drive it because if they crash it, you paying the deductible. Like
That's all it is, bro. And as long as you got gap insurance, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Goddamn.
Deductible too.
But listen. So obviously, I know you got a family. You got a good woman. You got your kids. But the thing is, first of all, how is that? First, you say you work with your woman. Like y'all work together. Y'all run a business together.
yeah, she's
How does that work, bro? Because a lot of people say you're not supposed to. You can. It ain't work.
Yeah.
So how is that working for you all, especially with you all being parents too? Like how is that working?
so there's pros and cons to it, right? But from a physics standpoint, right? If I can get more energy moving towards the same direction,
Of course.
there's going to be more of a result faster. It's going to snowball faster.
Yeah.
As opposed to, hey, you go here and then I'll go here and then we'll bring it back here and then figure out what we want to do from here.
Yeah.
And so when I was 22 when I had my first one, like 23, 24 when we had the second one, or just turned 24 actually. And bro, I was nervous as shit because the businesses hadn't really started to take off. And, you know, I'm blessed that I got somebody that I know has got my back and that I trust. Because in every business partner, you want trust, accountability, loyalty, and communication.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's a relationship.
yeah, that's a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so if I can, and it's cool too, because she not only, we weren't just like, oh, because we're together, we should do business together. It was more, hey, you're complimenting the stuff that don't have the natural aptitude to enjoy doing, and which is the back end integration, like stuff like that. And I am the communicator, the salesperson, the front end, the visionary, that aspect of things. And so she became the integrator to my visionary when it was just us. And now we have a true integrator. Not even, I don't want to say true integrator because she did and does a great job with everything that she does. But now we have somebody that's like in that integrator role so she can just focus on marketing.
So what's the cons to it though?
The cons are, especially with us being young, trying to manage all these things. We're blessed. We got a live-in nanny who's basically family, right? I'm going to make sure that lady's taken care of for forever. So from a time standpoint, like I'm going to Tampa and Miami next week, and she's coming with me. We're leaving from Sunday to Sunday, and the kids are staying at the house with the nanny. And so that has made our life a lot easier. But from a con standpoint, there are times where you're like, fuck this person, right?
Yeah.
You're pissed. You don't want to talk to them. Or maybe something happens in the relationship and you need to grow and realize and sometimes take a second to make sure it doesn't affect the business. And so that's, you know, I also see why people don't do business with their significant other. But I use the example of Layla and Alex. That's a 33 and 29 or 33 and 30, something like that. And so from a time horizon standpoint, when we first started to where we're at now, if we keep on this pace and trajectory, like there's always going to be bullshit at every level. But if I know I got somebody that's got my back and has my best intention, or not intention, but best, whatever.
I get you. I understand, yeah.
So if I know that, then it's like, it compounds over time.
So, okay, gotcha. So do you feel like that's something that you'll recommend people to do, or it's just like, I mean, obviously, I mean, if it's just like, if it happens, it happens type thing.
It's hard, right? Because it's like, some people ain't built for being able to do that.
But is it hard to separate? Because like, obviously,
It is.
that's what I'm saying. Because like, we come home and all we talking about is business. It's like, goddamn, I mean, where's the relationship? What do we have fun at? Where do we enjoy each other?
When I think we find fun in business, so that makes it better.
Okay.
Closing.
Thanks.
Well, no, it's because, bro, there's been times, and I'm sure she'd say this too, where we fucking are frustrated at each other, pissed off, and so it's not for everybody. But the answer of, you know, who should do it versus who shouldn't do it, it really depends on, did that person want to do, because Shay saw herself before we even met as this business person, this businesswoman that was doing this, that, and the third. I didn't have to put that on her.
Okay, I got you.
I didn't have to say, hey, this is what I want you doing. She actually is kind of crazy. I fired her a couple times in the beginning when it was just us. But she kept showing me that she's built for this shit. And part of the reason I fired her is because of ego stuff that, you know, us as men, we got to grow out of sometimes, right? And so she's been able to, you know, earn my business respect throughout the years for how resilient and resourceful and smart she is. But there were hurdles and hiccups, and shit ain't roses and fucking peaches. Like, shit is not sweet all the time. There are times you probably look at our relationship or look at one of our interactions and be like, oh, shit.
Facts.
Mike done hit me with that a couple times. I was like, oh, Mike, you want me to be a witness? He's like, no.
But that shit, bro. So I mean, it's not necessarily a recommendation. It's like, I guess you do it. Me personally, I just decide I just don't want to do it. And if I do start doing the business together, I just won't be into it. I put the money into it. You can run that shit. Yeah. I don't want it because it's just, you gotta know who your partner is.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Heck no. Because I mean, it's just like, first of all, women are just emotional, and that's okay. Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, I don't even want to do that. When I come home from working and dealing with my bullshit, I really don't even want to talk to you about that. Let's just talk. I want my head to be off of that.
Well, and it's the grass is greener too, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, I want that too.
Yeah.
But then the other side of it's like she really understands the shit that I deal with.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, for sure. And it is good though, because now she understands what you're really going through or whatever. So yeah.
And if we have the same stressors, we can grow together.
Yeah, and y'all are. You said she works with you in the business, so do y'all have like joint bank accounts and stuff, or is that separate, or how do you handle that?
Joint bank accounts.
Hey, how you start doing all this before you get married? Because they ain't gonna cap. That's crazy. That's hella choice. Because, bro, you gotta understand. If we was to break up, bro, you're gone.
Well, and if me and her break up, we still running the businesses. And I think
that's crazy. A lot of people just can't do that.
Us having kids adds a deeper layer to that. And it just like, regardless, at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure my kids are straight.
Yeah.
And, whether Shay was the mother of my kids or not, I would still pick her as a business partner.
That's big.
So having that joint bank account, do you ever like look in there and be like, why'd you spend money on that? Or like, does she do that to you sometimes? Or like, how does that go?
None of that really. It's more so, hey, let's get our expenses lower in this area. Or hey, let's make sure, like we was doing laundry services and it ended up being like $1,000 a month with how much laundry we had. We're like,
fuck that.
Let's cut that out.
All right. Wait. All right. So basically, so having a relationship and having somebody on your team, that's obviously good. It got pros and cons, but pretty much it's to each his own. Pretty much, it's like it's not a recommendation like, bro, do this or do this. It's just like, hey, man, whatever work for y'all.
Exactly, it's whatever works for y'all. Because I've had conversations through Collective Genius, this real estate mastermind I'm in with this 60-year-old dude that tried working with his wife and it was like, I can't do that, and enjoys not working with the wife in the business.
Yeah.
But I've also seen. And the reason I use this example is because this is the biggest parallel for us. Somebody like Alex and Layla that, their efforts compound each other. Alex wouldn't be where Alex is without Layla. Layla wouldn't be where she's at without Alex.
Until they break up and we see they get a divorce when they 50. Okay. I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that on nobody.
So with you and your girl, do y'all go like 50-50 as far as like expenses and stuff?
Because y'all got the same money, basically. Y'all making the same money.
It's just, we just make sure everything's taken care of. It's not really like hey, you got what you need. All right, I got what I need. All right, cool.
So it's not necessarily like 50-50. It's not 70-30. It's just like, well, first of all, it's hard to do that because you work together. Y'all have the same money, bro. It's like,
they're technically going 50-50?
I guess it technically is. Then I'm going 50-50. Because if all our money, that's basically like us saying all of our money is right here. Let me use it, and then if when we do pay all the bills, if I want to take some money out, it's gonna be out this. It's like, bro, 50-50.
It kind of, yeah. Listen, as long as everything paid and we can go where we want to do what we want, invest in what we want. That's because
y'all people get too caught up in that bullshit conversation.
Well, and it's not like if we didn't have kids together, there's a different dynamic.
Yeah,
1,000%. Because it's so much easier to leave and so much easier for stuff to be like, all right, fuck you. But we have a common goal that like we ain't meant to live forever, so everything we doing is gonna get given to them.
Yeah.
And Lord willing, even if we do break up, I don't see myself as wanting to have kids from different women.
Yeah.
I don't want that for myself.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of headache. And so everything I'm doing is for these little ones. You know what I mean? And everything she doing is for them too. So it's everything happened really fast. I did not expect to be a dad at 22. And I didn't expect to be in a long-term relationship. Even when we first met, she was like, I don't think you're looking for what I'm looking for. I said, I'm not ignorant to it if it makes sense. And shit, snap my fingers. Here we are fucking 5 years later.
So y'all got together right when you was 20?
Yeah, just turned 21, actually. It was like 2 months after I turned 21.
Okay.
And she was in her gap year, so she was 18, literally just about to be 19.
Damn. Yeah. I got you. So I mean, you got her. Now y'all here, and you just got to work with what you got. I'm just playing, not like that. I'm just kidding. All right, but I mean, that seems like y'all got a solid understanding about what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters, right? It's just like as long as y'all got a solid, bro. That's the thing about relationships. It's like, bro, as long as that shit work for you, that works for you. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, bro.
Bro, like if you would have looked at our relationship at different shit, you know how it is with relationships. If you look at somebody's relationship at one moment, you might think that shit's toxic as hell. If you look at somebody's relationship at another, you might aspire to be like that. But understanding that it's never one way or another all the time, to each his own. You feel me?
Yeah, hey, if you want to take that shit, take that shit. Go ahead. But hey, it is what it is. But it seems like we probably been here for a minute. Now, this is what we do like to do, though, before we get out of here, right? We drop these episodes at the beginning of the week, on Tuesdays, right? It's 6 o'clock p.m. Make sure y'all tuning in. But we drop these episodes at the beginning of the week, so we always want to make sure that we could give our audience something they can actually put into action this week.
Cool.
And actually implement it and make their lives better. Not saying it's got to be exponentially better, but just a little better. Yeah. So we call it give them something, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, or spiritually. Just give them something that they actually can go out and implement this week and make their lives a little better.
I'm gonna give
look at that camera right there.
For all my real estate people out here, if you haven't leveraged the MLS strategy or don't know what novations are, go to Top Brokerage, go to Top Buyers Academy, look me up on Instagram, Nico Sharma. And what I want you to do is if you have a CRM of leads, call through those leads with those 3 expectations with the MLS process that I told you guys at the beginning of this video. If you get a contract, reach out to me, we'll JV on it. Or just use our brokerage and sell that shit yourself. So from a action step standpoint, you got money sitting in your pipeline that is untapped. Go take what you learned in this podcast and turn it into a quick 30-piece.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Look, guys, please go take action this week and make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram at where? Where can they find you at?
Nico Sharma, NIKOSHARMA.
For sure. And then what's the website called and everything like that?
Topbrokerage.org for the brokerage. And then for the education on how to even use the brokerage, topbuyersacademy.com. Well, we have a course where we teach kind of like Will's EDU for Amazon, but it's for real estate and the MLS strategy.
Okay, let's get it. Well, guys, you guys heard it here first, guys. You guys see what's going on. You see that my guy is super successful. He's doing great things, and he's only going up here. He's only 25, guys. We're trying to show you guys this is possible. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys love this video, guys, and you feel like you got something out of this, go ahead, leave a super chat just to go ahead and support. If you want to just support us overall, just leave a super chat because ultimately we're doing this for you all. Not only that, hey, join the YouTube membership. We got some great things coming for you all, and you don't want to be left behind. You want to be here first. So go ahead and join the memberships. And if you're on YouTube, go over to our other platforms, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, whatever that is. Leave us 5 stars. Say something nice so we continue moving up those charts. Follow us on Instagram at _on_the_porch. And you guys can follow me on Instagram at _Mr.mindset. BJ.
Like you said, guys, y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube page. And guys, we're blowing up. We're going up and up every week. Y'all go ahead and check out our Instagram. We got a couple posts on there that are doing really well right now. Y'all go ahead and check that out. And we're not hard to find, guys. Y'all go follow us at _on_the_porch on mostly every platform out there, guys. We're not hard to find, guys. We're putting in y'all face every Tuesday on YouTube. And we drop almost every day on Instagram. So y'all go ahead and get that, guys.
Let's get it. And guess what? We out. Peace.
Good.
What I like too is
JT on the track again.
Hey, run that shit up, Chase.